¿Tienen documentos para estar en Estados Unidos legalmente? ¿Tienen documentos para estar aquí?
65. I got 60.
Partner? I got 65.
65. Okay, we'll go with that.
Agua. Agua. Venimos por hacerlo porque no somos aficionados. Sí, señor, somos aficionados de la Constitución de este país.
Did you want the light?
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Jim on the U.S.-New Mexico border. We have a group here that actually went around Monument 1 because the Mexican police was there. And so what they did is they cut across that little river and they got out on the highway. And so this is actually, if you look behind me here, we're on a road called Pisano. This is in El Paso. So, you know, this is where, when you come out of Monument 1, the area where where I've been showing you guys, these guys went ahead and took a trip through the river, crossed there, and snuck around, started walking down the side of the road. So, like I tell you guys, this is an invasion. It doesn't stop. They're going to come in anyway, no matter what we do, until we get the laws taken care of, until we get Congress together, and we need border wall. We need to get behind Donald Trump. And this is actually in El Paso. I don't think they know exactly where they're at. What do you think, Vashti? Do they know where they're at?
I can ask him.
No. Same thing. A lot of people coughing. A lot of kids. Now these guys are a direct result of not having security around Monument 1. That's that area we've been talking about where We Build the Wall has been negotiating to get a wall. Brian Kolfage, everybody who donated to that GoFundMe page, they're working extremely hard right now to get wall built there, funded by you guys. Not by the federal government, by the money that you guys donated. This is a major crisis area in the region. It's a high area for human trafficking, sex trafficking. The cartel makes a ton of money off these people, charging anywhere from $1,500 to sometimes $5,000 and more a head. Okay, I told you guys before, just because the border's quiet, just because they put Mexicans on the border, these people already paid. They already made their journey, however they got here, whether it was by airplane, whether by bus, whether it was a combination of a few different things put together. And so now these people are going to have to go somewhere. So now you got Border Patrol tied up. They're off the front line. These guys take anywhere from 2 hours to process per person. There's little background on a lot of these people because they don't have criminal records and stuff that we can access, because a lot of these countries don't yet document, so we don't know what they're running from. The kids are a whole nother issue because we don't know that the kids belong to the parents that they're with. We're not allowed to do anything other than if the parents check out, they release them and they send them to communities like you. And guess who's paying for some of this? This is the resources that come from your local churches. They have a thing down here called the Annunciation House that takes care of these people. We're using Border Patrol to give them a ride to the hospital, give them a ride to the airport, or give them a ride to wherever they need to go. And what we're doing is we're putting these people first over Americans, our veterans that are sleeping in the street, the homeless, the people that, you know, there's other people besides these people that need help. And while some of these people, a relatively small percent, 7% is the actual number, would actually qualify for asylum in the United States, we are basically just, in a nutshell, letting these people in, giving them a court date, releasing them, and then hoping they show up. And a lot of you think that this issue stays in the border city. A lot of you have been led to believe that this is a border city issue, and I'm here to tell you it's not. Most of these people are going to come to a city near you. They're spreading them out. They're being sponsored when they get to the United States. This is a very organized invasion. We've talked about this. When we use the word invasion, we talk about that you don't need firearms to invade a country. And I think, as you guys can see, I'm not on a big section of border here. This is a 5-mile area that I'm showing you guys these videos from. There's 2,200 miles of border that I'm not showing you video from. You've got all of Texas, all of New Mexico, all of Arizona, and all of California. They are having the exact same problem along their border in the open areas where there's no border wall as we're having right here. And there's caravans that continue to keep coming. Plus, now we're getting reports that we have violent caravans that are coming through southern Mexico into Chiapas, of Nigerians and Haitians that basically broke through the border down there, even though Mexico tried to stop them, and they're breaking through the cities. So they're not taking no for an answer, and they have the support of the cartels behind them. So, you know, there's a lot of elements here. Plus, they're getting money. I'm going to guess probably in the neighborhood of 100 people or better just in this one group. I mean, obviously, I can't count all the kids. There's tons of kids here. There's little children here, as you can see. A lot of little kids. I don't know how well you guys can see some of this, but it's definitely something that you're going to be affected by, for sure. And you got to feed these people. Every one of them is going to need to see a doctor. Every single one of them is going to have to, you know, you're going to have a place to live. Let's not forget about education. We got to put them through school. It isn't like we don't already have a school crisis going on here, you know, and this is why we need the wall. This is why, you know, things like us being on the border, helping the Border Patrol in these areas, and things like building the wall with private funds. I mean, it's all in response to an emergency that the left doesn't want you people to believe. They don't want you to believe that we're being invaded. They don't want you to believe Donald Trump when he says this is a crisis. Okay? He wants the left wants you all to think this is manufactured, that this is some kind of a made-up figment of the right's imagination. And I'm showing you evidence time and time again that, you know, these caravans didn't just organize themselves. 50 countries didn't just decide at one time, oh, we're going to put together a 20,000 person caravan and march our way to the United States to claim asylum. This is very organized. These people are getting here. It's expensive to get here, but yet they're getting here. And if you believe that all these people are walking 3,000 miles to get here, you're out of your mind. okay? They're being transported here. They're being trafficked here. There's a lot to this story that you don't see. There's a lot of crime to this story that you don't see. A lot of these people could probably be charged with kidnapping, renting children, hauling children through areas, and you know, we call that child endangerment. But the fact of the matter is that this is as real as it gets, guys. This is right here. This isn't in Mexico. This is in the United States. This is in El Paso, Texas. These guys just wanted to come through Monument 1. That's that little area of open area down there. I've showed it to you guys 100 times. But we had the Mexican police sitting down there, so they had to move this group around. So right now the river is shallow. So they cut the river back there, came across, and ended up getting them over on the other side of the road. See over here, that's the highway. So they made it to the United States. They got in. They're here. So now they got to be processed. Now you're going to tie up several Border Patrol agents for hours. And hey, Star, let me ask you a question. What country are they from?
¿De qué país son? Honduras y Guatemala nada más.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Nicaragua. So we've got Honduras, we've got Guatemala, we've got Nicaragua. Yeah, a lot of coughing going on here. A lot of sicknesses coming in here. We're well aware of that. You know, I mean, again, guys. Sometimes you have to be able to take care of your own. But let's talk about the other side of this crisis. Let's talk about our national security. Okay, let's put the humanitarian crisis to the side. What's going on at our border right now? While our border patrol's tied up with this, who's watching the open holes in the border? Who's out there fighting and combating drugs right now? Who's out there making sure that people that want to do harm to this country aren't getting in? Who's doing that while your border patrol, your frontline national security, is tied up processing caravans of people who've come over here to take advantage of the United States? This is why Trump has told everybody from the beginning, this is serious, this is a crisis, the United States is full, and we don't have room for you. Okay, it's not racist, it's not immoral to have borders. Every country has a border. Every country has a border. Not to mention, you get large groups like this. Let me ask you another question. Who's to say one of these people aren't going to pull a gun and start shooting people? You got minimal number of agents here. And to assume that every single one of these people, without knowing anything about them, knowing they're from another country, just to assume that nothing's going to happen. It's just absolutely absurd. And we know these people are being coached. Everybody's wearing masks. That's for protection.
Yeah, the general rule is if they walk, they get a ban.
You need any more? I got 2 more.
So what'll happen now, guys, is that we've got processing vans here. You guys have seen those in my other video. They'll get loaded into those vans. Then they're going to get hauled to a processing center that was built for 4,000 people, and I believe now it's rated about 20,000. So, you know, the left always says it's inhumane when they have to build a tent or something outside to hold people. The fact of the matter is there's no room. The processing centers are way over capacitated, and you know, so you can't blame anybody for that. Okay, as long as we keep letting them in and saying yes, and we don't want to build a wall, and we just want to let people run, and this is truly an invasion that's not going to stop until people get mad enough to say enough's enough, and they demand more of the Congress. And that's the only way it's going to stop, because wall alone is going to solve a big problem for national security, but it's not going to stop the invasion. Okay, you have to change the laws. We have to let the people down south know that if you want to come into the United States, you have to come in legally. You have to come in the right way. Okay? There's a right way to do things, and there's a wrong way to do things. And we have room for people that want to be Americans, that want to assimilate to American culture. But to break through with no regard for our laws, to come in here and disrespect our country, waving your country's flags, okay, and have no intention of anything other than taking advantage of our country and not assimilating to American values, that's an issue, guys. I take big issue with that. You know, it's an insult to every person who came here legally, who came here the right way. Okay? And, you know, like I said, you can say what you want, but the numbers are the numbers. 5 to 7% of this invasion actually qualifies for real asylum claims. Think about that. 5 to 7%. Oh, and then when you hear the crime numbers from El Paso, keep in mind, guys, these guys do not stay in El Paso. They will get sponsored. They will be assisted. When they get through their processing, the donators will give them bags, they'll give them care kits, and then they'll get sponsored, and they'll be taken care of. And then they'll be planted in a voting district, most likely, because you guys all know what the real agenda here is, and that's to push socialism. That's to make sure that illegal aliens have the right to vote. And that's why 5 years ago, they didn't care whether you were Republican or liberal. They all voted on border security. So, you know, this is where we're at. But my battery is going dead, guys, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I wanted to show you this. This is Jim from the U.S.-Mexico border, and share these video, guys. I appreciate you guys sharing them. It's making a big difference. Go check out the We Build the Wall page. That's the GoFundMe page that everybody donated to. Updates there. Like I said, this is the area where They're trying to get the wall built. They're in negotiations right now, but they're not just in negotiations here. They're in negotiations in a lot of different places. So check that out, and keep following us, guys. Share these videos with your friends. I hope they get seen. I hope that the word gets out there, because it's the only thing we can do to stop the invasion. So I will talk to you guys later. This is Jim. You guys have a good night. Thank you.